You know, Jim, in the next 2 hours, we're going to head into Lockport and deliver your petitions. This is when it begins for real. It begins for real now. I know it's been fun, it's been interesting, but when we get to Lockport and you hand those papers in, you're in. You're in, buddy.
Okay, so we're handing in, we're telling everybody today that we're taking our petitions in. Today is July the 7th, in case perhaps they have any questions about the petitions. I doubt it, since we have probably 3 times the amount we need just to be on the Republican Party. But it's been, Paul's right, it's been absolutely fun up to this particular point. The people are great. We've been meeting a lot of good citizens in Niagara Falls, and regardless of what politicians and people want you to believe, there are a lot of good citizens that really do care about the city of Niagara Falls, and we've been talking to every one of them that we've met. They all realize that, unfortunately, they all realize the city has some problems. We believe we have a lot of solutions for the day-to-day problems that they have. We're hoping that they show up in the primary and they vote.
You know, Jim, I've been around these things for many years with all kinds of candidates. And when I tell you, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, your candidacy is unique because you're surrounded by friends and family. There's no politicians, if they ever, you know, you hear it all the time. Oh, he's not a politician, he's not a politician. You truly are not a politician. You know, I think you've proved that, and it's refreshing. Now the work begins.
Yeah, and you know what, Paul, and I've told the other candidates this too, which is something that I'm very much impressed with, because the other candidates are actually coming to us and talking to us, and some of them have even related to us that the reason they ran was because they seen I was running, and that the articles that we published about people have to get out there have actually affected them, and they figure that they have something good to say about the city of Niagara Falls, and they want to stand up for whatever they believe in. And I'm 100% with that. When people laugh because I invite these politicians to our headquarters to come and talk, or I invite them to the park to pass out their petitions, they look at me like I'm crazy. But it's not about me, and it's about the people in the city of Niagara Falls. These people all believe they have something to give the city of Niagara Falls, and I want to help them to be able to help the citizens and businesses in Niagara Falls, and that's what it's all truly about, Paul.
You know what I can go to bed at night saying Jim Szwedo's real. Okay, I mean, we haven't made enemies of anyone. It's not our goal.
No.
In fact, we have several friends that are actually running against you.
Right.
And I think that's good for the people in Niagara Falls, that you haven't made this thing a clash of egos or a war. You've said from day one, my goal is to provide better services to the city of Niagara Falls to help solve some of the problems. Yeah. That's so different, and I think that's how you
know what, Paul, the good thing is it's reaching across lines. It isn't just the Republican candidates that are coming to us for not just for help, but to talk about the problems of the city of Niagara Falls. It's the Democrat, it's the Independents. I mean, we're reaching across all lines because it's going to take everyone to solve this problem. And the one thing I have said right from the beginning, you're right, the difference is the people running this campaign for me, the people helping me with this campaign, are sitting beside me, and when it's over, we're still going to go to coffee. You know, we're still going to be friends. And, you know, we're just hoping that our little bit of input does something for the city of Niagara Falls. You know, and that's the difference. You know, most politicians run, the party runs their campaign, they tell them what to do, they tell them who they can talk to, they tell them who they can associate with. We want to associate with everyone. That's what makes it different. We're not controlled by the party, which is the problem that the party is having with us. We've had some interesting, you know, actually we're going to ask Stentz, I got a little spot for him to publish on the Niagara Hub, and I'm giving it to him on the Niagara Hub. It's just a little article about some of the things that have been going on during the campaign, and some of the, I guess you would say, the political games that people like to play. And the one thing I've got to say is that the professional politicians and the professional party members in both the county and the city of Niagara Falls do consider this a game. And that's what the difference is. I don't consider this a game. I don't take the lives and the future of the citizens and businesses of Niagara Falls as a game, and I never will. And that's why we're doing this. That's why we started doing this. That's why I'm paying for this out of my own pocket. As far as we can take this, if it ends up us doing 4 years in office, 8 years in office, at least we tried the best we could. And in the end, we're still all going to be friends. And we're going to be friends with the guy standing behind the camera there who doesn't want to be seen. And we're going to be friends with the other political candidates if they win. And if they're working for the betterment of Niagara Falls, that's all that matters. And that's all we're looking for. Just a better Niagara Falls.
Say this this comes to fruition and you get elected, what's the first thing, the most pressing thing you see on your plate? Because I think that's what people want to know. What's going to be there? Day one, Jim Szwedo said, we got a long list, a long laundry list.
Do you know what?
Day one, this is what has to change.
You know what has to change? Two things have to change, Paul. Involvement of the citizens and businesses in the way their city runs and the way the future is going to develop in Niagara Falls, because there's been this disconnect between city government and county government and the citizens and businesses of Niagara Falls for way too long. That has got to change. I mean, the citizens and businesses that pay the taxes should have rights in the city of Niagara Falls. Second thing, there is going to be no repercussions. I mean, if someone in this city believes that what I'm doing makes me a horse's ass, okay, well, they're entitled to their opinion. You know, they're absolutely entitled to their opinion, and I'd love to talk to them about it, but we're not going to be, there's nothing in here. If it's for the betterment of the city of Niagara Falls, we want revenge on no one. We want everyone to be our friends. We want the city of Niagara Falls to prosper, because if we don't all work together, Republican, Democrat, Independent, we're going nowhere. You've seen every government that's been in there. Everyone that's ran for office made great promises. And every time they leave office, we're worse off than the last person that was in there, Paul. We can't have that. And the only way that's going to change is that we can get the citizens and businesses of Niagara Falls involved in not only the running of the city government, but the direction of the city for the next years.
One of the things that I see is it's downright scary. With everything that's going on, you got the head of the Senate in trouble, the head of the Assembly in trouble, all kinds of questions around people in Albany. You think that would cause the politicians to back off. And it hasn't happened.
No,
it hasn't happened.
It isn't. And one businessman spoke to us, and he summed it up in one word. Jim, you do not understand. It's about their ego and their desire for power, and you're making them angry. What you're doing is not the way it's done. This isn't how a campaign should be run. You can't say the things you do because it upsets the politicians. These are professional politicians or professional people from the party. And the fact that they've got a no-show job, or the fact that they're more worried about keeping Niagara Falls under control, maintaining the status quo, that doesn't bother me at all. Okay, that's something we're not going to have. And the one thing I will guarantee is that the city of Niagara Falls is back in the hands of the people. The businesses and citizens that pay the taxes will have a voice in the new city government. And that's basically what it's about. Regardless, whatever they want to think of me, that's not my problem. You know what I mean? Because it's not about me, it's about them. And that's all. If the party wants to come after me for the things I say, that's fine. As a matter of fact, I welcome the Republican Party to come after me, since I'm not the endorsed, because that way we'll get it out of the way before we go against the Democrats.
You know what, Jim, I think about this, and I like I said, I've been doing this too long, actually. But I remember on 76th Street, when you got that woman to sign your petition. 3 blocks later, and that guy runs you down on his bicycle and says, my wife said I missed you, I want to sign. It's time for everybody to get on their bike.
No.
Get on their bike and get on board, because you can do this.
You know what? Political games have been played with the people from the time of the primary to the signing of the petitions. People are telling us they got 60 people running around. Well, what's that mean? Those 60 people, if they each get, let's just say they each got 20 petitions signed, Paul. So now we sit back and we look at this. We got 1,200 petitions. Not one of them met the candidate. And that's not what we want. What good is it if I send someone out to get my petition signed and you convince them to sign it?
Right.
They're not seeing the candidate. They're not for what he stands for. And this is it. I want everybody that signs my petition to know what I'm standing for. It's not about me. No matter, regardless of what you can think about me, regardless of what the party thinks about me, it's about the people and the businesses in Niagara Falls. And I can't stress that enough. The difference in what we're doing is the involvement of those people in their future. Not the future of the party, not the future of the professional politicians, the future of the citizens. And
it's the future of the 92-year-old woman on Champlain.
Yeah.
When you stood, she goes, you're running for mayor and you're standing in my living room? You're standing, and that's when you promised her she'd be there on election day, and God willing you win, she'll be holding the Bible.
Absolutely, and that's what we're for. These people have stuck it out in the city for so long, and that's what we need. We need these people to stand up one more time, just one more time. Everything we do, if we get elected, they'll be able to physically touch. They won't be able to say to horse's ass about the money, look, it's Monday, all we got for $500,000 is a mess to clean up. They'll be able to physically touch what we've done, Paul. And that's going to be the biggest difference. And whether the party likes it or not, I don't care. If my own political party wants to attack me, that's fine. Go ahead and get it over with, because that way, let's get it over with before the Democrats do it. I expect it from the Democrats, but I do not expect to be attacked by my own Republican Party. But if that's what they want to do, God bless them. Spend your money, because we're definitely not spending ours. Spend all your money, because any money we have, we're going to put it back into the citizens.
Right.
And that's it, Paul.
Let's
That's
get
what
it
we're
done.
about. Let's get it done. We just keep going.
Let's get it done.
And we're all going to be friends.